Nicholas, we need to talk. Just how long are you planning to keep living at home?
Huh? This is sudden.
I asked you a question, Nicholas. I want an answer. When are you moving out?
Mom, are you kicking me out of the house?
Did you think I would let you continue to leech off me like a parasite for as long as you pleased? Answer my question for the third time. When are you moving out?
Mom, I'm a sophomore in high school. How am I supposed to move out of the house? I can't live on my own.
You'll have to work for a living just like everyone else.
Work? Again, I'm still in high school. I could only work a few hours each day.
Then you'll just have to drop out of school.
Drop out?
Actually, that's a wonderful idea. You're old enough to be emancipated. I'll have to go look up how that process works.
Oh, hold on. Slow down for a second. Can I ask what brought this on? You've always told me that if I don't at least graduate from high school, that our relatives will all be furious at me and I'd probably end up in jail. Now you're telling me to drop out? I'm confused.
Oh, that's not a concern anymore. It was your sister who wanted you to graduate from high school, not me.
Wait, it was her? This is making less and less sense.
But it seems that she's had a change of heart. She now thinks that having you around is only getting in our way and wants you to leave. So leave.
Okay, I don't believe you for 1 second. There's no way she would say something like that about me.
Believe it or not, she said it. And as for me, I never wanted you in the first place. I only decided to carry you to term out of compulsion.
Mom.
And surely you've realized it by now. Your sister's always been sickly ever since she was a child. The hospital stays, doctor's appointments, medicine, dietary supplements, it all adds up. We can't afford any unnecessary expenses, and by unnecessary expenses, I mean you. You don't have the needs your sister does. All you need to do is eat and drink, and you'll be as healthy as a horse.
Hold on. Is this about her childhood asthma? But she got over that when she was in middle school, didn't she? I mean, she's living like a normal human being. She's even got a job.
You heard her coughing this morning.
Yeah, she coughed. Everybody coughs. I cough, you cough, everybody coughs. I'd say it would be more concerning if she never coughs. It would probably mean she had a lung problem. And I mean, I had a pretty rough cold last month, didn't I? I broke out with a high fever, too. I had to stay home from school for a few days. Don't you get colds, Mom?
If you're expecting me to throw a pity party for you, it's not going to work.
I wasn't asking for sympathy. I was just making a rhetorical point.
You are perfectly healthy. You'll get over whatever colds or coughs you get. Don't be such a pathetic, sniveling, whiny little child, Nicholas. You're embarrassing me.
I'm not whining. That's it. I'm done. I'm really sick of talking to you, Mom.
What did you say to me?
You want me to move out of the house before I graduate high school, is that right? Fine, have it your way.
Nick, are you there? Mom's in the kitchen cleaning up from dinner, so we gotta talk fast. I don't want her knowing I'm talking to you. She says you're moving out of the house?
Oh, so Mom broke the news to you, I see.
Then she was telling the truth.
Yup, she was.
But if you're gonna move out of the house, that means you're gonna have to make ends meet all by yourself. How are you gonna get by? What are you gonna do for money? Do you have anywhere to live? And what about school? Oh, before I forget, don't believe a word Mom says. I never said that I wanted you to leave.
Don't worry, Rebecca. I know you'd never say that about me. I figured she was just projecting. The walls in our house aren't that thick. I can hear all her late-night rants about me that she puts you through. She hates me so much that she assumes you must hate me just as much as she does.
Yeah, you're probably right about that.
I know I'm right. I mean, did I tell you what she said to me the other day? I think you remember back when Mom was trying to make me drop out of high school right when I turned 16, you told her that if she made me quit school, all of her relatives were going to be furious at her, and there's even a chance that the police might get involved. But somehow Mom managed to turn that into you being concerned that they would all be mad at me and I would be the one who'd end up in jail. Huh.
Ugh, I had forgotten about that. I was just so glad she didn't go through with it. Once it was all said and done, I thought whatever delusions she had shouldn't be much of an issue. But we need to get back on topic. Do you have any idea how difficult it's going to be for you to leave home at your age?
To be honest, I think I'm actually going to be just fine.
Fine? How are you going to be fine?
When Mom sent that insane text the other day, I was actually over at Grandpa's house to talk with him. Dad's side, not Mom's side. Eesh.
You were?
I've never told this to Mom, but I've been going to see him from time to time ever since Dad died. Grandma passed away last year, so with Grandpa living all alone, I thought he might cheer up if he had someone to talk to. Plus, it's only about 30 minutes away by bike, so I don't need to worry about anyone driving me. So yeah, I was there at his house having a great old time hearing him tell funny stories about when Dad was a kid, when Mom texted me and, well, told me to leave the house.
Wow, I had no idea.
And when I talked to Grandpa about what she said, he told me that I didn't need to live with that awful woman, his words, for 1 second more, and that I was welcome to move into his house if I wanted to. So I decided to hold my head high and told her that if that's what she wants, then sure, I'll leave.
Wow, so Grandpa said he'll support you?
I talked to one of my teachers who knows about my situation, and he said he'd set me up with a good part-time job when the time comes, so yeah, I think I should be just fine until I graduate from high school.
Okay, well, that's a relief. It sounds like you've got everything figured out. I think it might be time for me to make my move, too.
You too?
I've been wanting to talk to Grandpa for some time myself. Do you think I could come along with you the next time you go to see him? Do you have plans to go over there again soon, or...?
Yeah, I was gonna go down there this Saturday.
Great, that works for me. I'll tag along then. Hey, Nick, thanks for letting me go with you to see Grandpa today.
Don't mention it. I was glad to have you. And I know Grandpa was happy to see you too. But I gotta say, you really blew me away when you told us what you were planning to do.
Sorry for dropping that bomb on you so suddenly, but my mind's made up, so...
Hey, I've got no objections here. If anything, I'm actually kind of relieved.
Then I guess it's settled. We'll have 1 month to get everything ready. And remember, no matter what, we cannot let Mom know anything at all about this.
Trust me, you don't need to tell me twice.
Well, Nicholas, it's now been 1 month since you said you were moving out of the house. Let me make myself crystal clear. I'm not going to let you back out of this just because you are a minor, or because you're in high school. I fully intend to hold you to your word. You told me in no unclear terms that you were moving out, and I expect you to do so with all due haste.
What do you want from me? I told you it would take about a month to get ready.
What? I don't remember you saying any such thing.
That doesn't surprise me. You never did listen to much of what I had to say. But I'd like to think you would remember a detail as important as that one.
Fine, then you have 1 week and not a second more.
Not to worry, Mom. I managed to get ready for the move quite a bit quicker than I expected. I've already left. I got out of the house first thing this morning.
What?
I've been moving my things out a little bit at a time over the last 3 weeks. Don't tell me you didn't notice.
You did? When? I had no idea you were doing that. How did you move your things without me noticing?
Did you expect me to rent a moving truck? I don't have the money to do that. And even if I did, I don't have a driver's license. I had no choice but to move little by little over a long period of time. But be that as it may, you really didn't notice? What'd you think I was doing with the massive cardboard boxes I strapped onto the back of my bike when I left for school? I might as well have put up a flashing neon sign saying, "Hey Mom, look at me, I'm moving out."
I've had just about enough of your snide remarks, young man.
Oh, well, too bad. I still have a few more. Like, for example, didn't you think it was odd that all my bookshelves were empty, my dresser was empty? I even took the posters down off the walls. How did you not notice any of that? Like, really? Just what kind of an oblivious doofus are you? Okay, moving on. If you're this surprised that I moved out, I'd just love to see the look on your face when you realize that it's not just me. Rebecca's moving out too.
No, not Rebecca too.
Yep, just what I thought you'd say. She was actually even more subtle about moving all her things than me. But if you go ahead and open the door to her room right now, you'll see that, yep, it is completely empty, just like mine.
Oh, this can't be happening.
Oh, and one more thing. Rebecca left an envelope for you on the floor of her room. Make sure you don't miss it.
Nicholas, give me your sister's new phone number this instant.
Huh?
The letter she left for me said that she had changed her phone number and she didn't want me to contact her ever again. You said you knew that Rebecca was moving just a bit ago. That means you must know what she's doing and where she's at right now. Now tell me her phone number.
She said she would let me know once she got a new phone, but I haven't heard anything from her yet.
Fine. Then tell me what her new number is the very moment she contacts you.
Oh, come on, Mom. You're gonna make me sad. Don't you care about where I moved to?
Don't be ridiculous. I am obviously more concerned about your sister than you. You can take care of yourself.
Yeah, I figured you'd say that. But unfortunately for you, once Rebecca messages me with her new phone number, I'm gonna go and get a new number myself immediately.
You wouldn't.
I kinda have to. The one I'm using now is on Rebecca's plan. She's canceling her old contract and signing a new one with a different provider. I only added my phone to her plan so we could get the family discount. It's not worth it to have a plan all to myself, so I'm gonna get a new phone and sign on to her new plan.
But if you do that, how will you give me Rebecca's new number?
Gee, Mom, I'm really sorry to say this, but since we're gonna change our numbers at the same time, I don't think there will be any way to get her new number to you. Sad. Very sad.
You can't do this to me. Rebecca needs me. What if her asthma flares up again and I'm not around? Who's going to call a doctor for her?
I told you before, Mom, her doctor gave her a clean bill of health back when she was in middle school. She's perfectly healthy. She doesn't even need an inhaler anymore.
After everything I've done for her, all the nights I stayed up by her bedside in the hospital, all the times I took her to the ER in the middle of the night, this is how she repays me?
Get over yourself, Mom. Seriously? First of all, back when Rebecca was staying in the hospital, Grandma was the one who stayed in her room with her, not you.
That's not...
Sure, you were there in the very beginning when she was first hospitalized, but that didn't last long. You got a little bit too friendly with the mom of one of the other patients, and the two of you spent all your visiting time chatting it up and cackling like a bunch of middle-aged women who drank too much wine during happy hour. You were being so annoying that the staff had to ask you to quiet down multiple times every day, but that didn't work, and it got so bad that you were banned from the hospital. Ever since then, Grandma had to go to the hospital instead of you, and I was the one who had to stop by her hospital room on my way home from school to take home her dirty laundry and drop off clean clothes.
But...
Thinking back, I don't even remember you saying thank you to either me or Grandma for all the stuff we had to do because of you. It's still bizarre to me, though, how even when we and the doctors told you that Rebecca was getting better and better, you just completely ignored us. She was released from the hospital with a clean bill of health, and you still acted like she was on her deathbed. Remember when she was in high school and wanted to join the softball team? My God, I thought you were going to have a heart attack. You were screaming and crying and pleading from outside her door all night. To Rebecca's credit, she stayed the course and joined the team despite your hysterics. But you couldn't let her even have that one small victory, could you? No, you went to her school the very next day, chained yourself to the door of the softball equipment room, and said you wouldn't move until Rebecca quit the team. Apparently, you didn't know that there was another door to the room, so your threat was meaningless. But Rebecca was so humiliated by your stunt that she quit the team anyway out of sheer embarrassment.
What do you expect me to do? Allow my sickly daughter to play a deadly sport? What if she got hit by a ball in the chest? She could have died. I couldn't let her take that kind of risk.
For the love of God, Mom, Rebecca is not sickly. She's perfectly healthy. She spent all of her break times running laps and lifting weights in the school gym because you refused to let her do any exercise at home. Thanks to that, she could probably even outrun me right now.
She was exercising?
There's a word for what you have, Mom. It's called Munchausen by proxy. You just wanted to portray this image of yourself as selflessly devoting your life to protecting your sickly daughter, all to gain sympathy and attention for yourself. But whether you realized it or not, all you were doing was deep mental and emotional damage to your own daughter.
You're lying. That's not true. I gave up everything to take care of that girl.
This conversation is going nowhere. Get help, Mom.
Get help? What do you mean by that?
Here's the only other information I'll tell ya. Rebecca moved out and got a new job.
No!
I'm still going to the same high school, but I made sure all the teachers and staff know about our family's circumstances. If you go anywhere near the school, the police will be on you before you can put your hand on the doorknob. You'll only be causing pain and humiliation for yourself, so don't even bother.
They can't stop me from seeing my own children.
You think so? Give it a shot then. It's your funeral. Anyway, I'm out.
Wait just a moment, young man. We are not done talking yet.
I just got my new phone from Rebecca, so once I finish transferring all my data over, I'm turning this one off and never turning it back on again. I might just smash it with a hammer for good measure. But before I do that, I'm blocking your number just because.
Nicholas, don't you dare!
Bye, Mom. As you know, but my mom doesn't, I moved out of my old house and am now living with my grandpa. As for my sister, she got married to the boyfriend Mom didn't know she had and moved in with him. He's a real stand-up guy, too. He knows about our family's situation, and he said that if it didn't work out for me to live with my grandpa, that I was always welcome to come and live with the two of them. I'm really glad Rebecca found a guy like him. Grandpa was glad to hear about her getting married, too. He said he was worried about her being lonely, but knowing what kind of guy her husband is puts his heart at ease. And finally, my mom. Having been left completely alone in her house, she was desperate for someone to keep her company, so she thought to move back in with her own parents. However, unbeknownst to her, both her mom and dad had already died years ago. None of her family told her because, well, they hate her and have for a long time. She also has no contact with any of her old friends for the same reason. So, left with not a soul in the world who would give her the time of day, what was Mom's next move? Going on dating apps, of course. But with that personality of hers, she's never been able to make it past an hour into a first date until her partner suddenly remembers an errand they had to run. She's actually become somewhat of a legend online, with entire social media pages dedicated to men telling the hilarious stories of their unfortunate encounters with her.
Hey there, Lucy. Bad news, girlfriend. I'm pregnant, and your husband's the father. Wait, Anya? Is that you? I haven't heard from you for, what now, 5 years? And the first thing you say to me is that? What's going on here? I just told you. I'm pregnant, and your precious and faithful, or so you thought, husband Henry is the father. You know what that means, don't you? I bet you do. We went through the same sex ed class in middle school. Oh my God. Now that you mention it, Henry hasn't been around the house for some time now. I can explain that. He's been living in my apartment with me. You're a smart girl. You always got some of the best grades in the class. You know what you need to do now, don't you? Listen, Anya, there are certain lines that you shouldn't cross when trying to play a trick on someone. I mean, seriously, you're an adult. You should know better than to tell such ridiculous stories. Aw, you poor thing. You're trying so hard to hold on to your pride. But think about it. You've been trying for so long to get pregnant, but you still haven't been able to have a baby, right? You being a broken woman has kept Henry from having the child he's always wanted for 7 whole years. I'm not sure what you mean by broken woman, but if you're implying I'm infertile, the doctors have said no such thing. Henry's so lucky he found me. If not, he would have stayed childless and miserable with you forever. Oh, Lucy, it pains me to say this. Who am I kidding? It doesn't pain me at all. But this baby wasn't an accident. Henry wanted me to get pregnant. He wanted me to have his baby, and I gave it to him. What the? You got pregnant on purpose? I think you deserve to know that Henry says he has no use for a barren woman, and that he wants to divorce you and marry me. Well, this should be entertaining. Entertaining? What do you mean? Oh, it's nothing. Nothing at all. Congratulations, Anya. I wish you the best of luck. Oh my God, you're pathetic. But go ahead, keep up the act via text. I know you're crying your eyes out in real life. Just hurry up and divorce him as quickly as possible, got it? After all, I'm already 6 months pregnant. We'll probably wait until the baby's been born and things have settled down to have our wedding, but if possible, I'd like to file our marriage certificate before the birth. So yeah, be a dear and sign on the dotted line when you get the paperwork, okay? Bye-bye, girlfriend. Thanks so much for divorcing your husband, my husband. And it was just in the nick of time, too. I'm already in my last month. With this, we'll be able to get legally married before the birth with no problems at all. Did you get the divorce settlement payment in your account yet? Henry's parents were kind enough to foot the bill for us. We didn't have to pay anything. Isn't it great, marrying into a wealthy family? They can throw out thousands of dollars like that at the drop of a hat. I bet you miss this lifestyle already, huh? Wow, you already got married? That was quick. Of course we did. We took a picture of us together with the judge who married us. Do you want me to send it to you? I'll pass. Are you sure? I look really good in my white dress. And we made sure to edit my pregnant belly out of it. About that picture, are Henry's parents in it too? Huh? Yeah, they are. Most of the pictures were just me and Henry, but his mom and dad were really excited to take a picture with all of us, so we had someone take a picture of all 4 of us at the front of the courthouse. Why do you ask? They did the same thing when me and Henry took our marriage certificate to the courthouse, too. Oh, really? Well, I guess that makes sense. They're so excited for their son to get married, they want to tag along to see the exact moment that their marriage becomes legal, huh? And now you're jealous that they're doing it for me and not for you? Aw. I feel a lot of things right now, but jealous isn't one of them. There you go, acting all big and strong again. You should know, Henry's parents had a lot to say about you. Ever since they found out you were a useless, barren, dried-up excuse for a woman, they'd been waiting for you to divorce him, but you were just too stubborn. They were incredibly grateful to me, too. Not only did I give them their first grandchild that they'd been waiting 7 whole years for, I also got rid of the dead weight that's been holding Henry back for so long. That's you, by the way. Oh, Anya, you always knew how to make me laugh, even back in middle school. What's so funny? You really don't get it, do you? Get what? Oh, nothing. To be honest, I'd been wanting to divorce Henry too, so if you're honestly happy with hitching your wagon to that family, then I don't really have any reason to stop you. You have my full blessing to do whatever you want with him from now on. Lucy, what's with you? You're acting like you're enjoying this? Is that how I seem to you? Maybe there's something to that. Will you stop speaking so cryptically like that? It's getting creepy.
Well, let's step the creepiness up a notch then, shall we? Henry and his family have some incredibly outdated beliefs about women, like the kind that a simple internet search would cure in about 5 seconds if they ever cared enough to look it up. What, are you saying they're fundamentalist religious nuts or something? I don't believe you. The simpler explanation is just that they wanted an heir to carry on the family business. You, being infertile, meant that they were never going to get one, so they hated you. But fortunately for them, now they do have an heir because unlike you, I'm actually a real woman. Real women can have babies, you know. And guess what? We just found out that the baby's a boy. Uh-huh. Well, just don't ever tell me that I didn't warn you. There is something very important about Henry that you apparently don't know, and his family's outdated beliefs are connected to that. Again, with the creepy cryptic statements. Stop that! Great news, Lucy. The baby was just born. I swear he just popped right out of me. I barely even felt it. Oh, wow. The baby was born already? If I'm not mistaken, your due date wasn't for another few weeks, right? That seems kind of soon. Yeah, and so what? Early or not, the baby was born as healthy as a horse. What are you getting angry at me for? I was just concerned about you and the baby. Premature births carry a lot of risks. Surely you're aware of that. Oh, is that really why you asked? What's the matter? Can you think of another reason why I'd be asking? No, you creepy weirdo. The doctor said the baby was safe to be born any time, and the baby was born healthy. I don't see why anything else should matter. I'm healthy, the baby's healthy, Henry's happy. End of story. Really? Well, I'm glad for you then. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm at work right now and need to put away my phone. This is the life. We moved into Henry's parents' house so their maid could help take care of me and the baby. And let me tell you, their maid is incredible. She does all the cleaning and cooking so I don't have to lift a finger. Plus, Henry's parents are so thrilled about the birth of their grandson that I barely even have to look after him myself either. This is paradise. Oh, and by the way, about our wedding, it's scheduled for about 6 months from now. We booked the biggest venue in the state. And do you know how much Henry's parents are shelling out for the wedding? $100,000. Can you believe that? Obviously, I'm not going to invite you, but I'll be sure to send you tons of pictures of how awesome I look, huh? Today's the big day, Lucy. It's the day of me and Henry's wedding. You know, the one his parents paid $100,000 for. I told you about that, right? And oh my God, my dress is fabulous. They must have spent half the cost of the wedding on this dress alone. They had it custom made by an Italian designer, and let me tell you, that guy knows wedding dresses. Oh, today is the day, huh? Well, congratulations. What? Didn't I tell you? I thought I did. I mean, you kinda did, but all you told me was that it was 6 months away. You never gave me any specifics. Oh, oopsie. Sorry, girlfriend. It was no big deal. I wasn't invited anyway. If your wedding is today, that means Henry's parents are out of the house right now. Uh-oh. Are you planning on going berserk and trashing their house while they're away? You're still in love with Henry, aren't you? No and no. I was just thinking to myself via text, which now that I stop and think about it does seem kind of odd. But anyway, the thing is that I finally moved out of the house that Henry and I were living in just a little while ago. You what? Okay, you're definitely still in love with him. Please, I was just waiting until I found a decent place to move into, that's all. While I was boxing up my things for the move, I noticed that Henry had left behind quite a few of his own personal things. It wasn't just some junk that I could throw away, so I packed it all up in a box and sent it to Henry's parents' address since that's where he'd be living. The delivery company said that it should be arriving today. Well, that shouldn't be a problem. The delivery driver can just put it in the locking delivery box they have at the front door. Oh, they have one of those? They didn't before. Well, you know, things change. I happen to have a wee bit of a shopaholic side to me. I buy things online all the time. They put it there just for little old me. I see. Well, in that case, I suppose there shouldn't be any problem then. Hey, I just told you your parents renovated their house for me. Doesn't that make you angry, jealous, sad, anything? I think I'll get back to unpacking now. Enjoy your wedding, Anya. Don't ignore me, Lucy. Make sure you take care of that box when you get home.
Lucy, what is this?
What is what?
The box you sent in the mail today. Henry's parents got home from the wedding before us and opened it up.
Uh-oh.
But why did they do that? It was addressed to Henry, not them. They had no right to open it like that.
Well, for what it's worth, I don't mind if they opened it. None of it's my stuff. It's all Henry's.
Oh, well, I'm so glad that you're feeling just fine and dandy. Meanwhile, my life is in total chaos because of this.
Yeah? Why's that?
Henry, he's infertile? And not just kinda infertile. He's the you will never ever possibly have a child kind of really infertile. I didn't know that. His parents didn't know that. Not even Henry knew, but now they all do. So now they're telling me that they think Henry isn't the child's real father. They're demanding that I get a paternity test.
Well, from what you're saying, I'm getting that there was apparently something in the box of Henry's stuff that showed he was infertile.
Obviously, I thought that went without saying.
Okay, well, I was just confirming. You kind of skipped over that part. Boy, you're really upset about this, huh? Was it maybe the envelope from the doctor that tipped them off? That was addressed to Henry directly, so I just sent it right over without opening it. Wow, that was his fertility test results? I was wondering when they would get those back to us.
Are you saying that Henry had a fertility test done before we got married? But that doesn't make any sense. He never doubted that he was the father. At least, he never expressed any doubts to me. Why did he get a fertility test?
We'd been trying for so long with no success that I figured one of us had to have some sort of issue. And after a ton of prodding, I finally got him to agree to both of us getting tested. So each of us went to a doctor that we knew and trusted and had them do a wide array of tests. As for why Henry didn't seem to know, this is just a guess, but the envelope arrived at the house just a little bit before the two of you got married, right? Well, back then he was living at your house. He was never at home to pick up the envelope. So he probably didn't know that he was infertile because he just never plain saw the test results.
What? He went to all the trouble of getting tested, but he never even checked the results?
Right? It's not like those tests were cheap either. I'll bet that since he was in a relationship with you and you got pregnant, he figured he didn't need to see the results. He thought you were his pregnancy test. Since he was assured that there was nothing wrong with him and that it was his barren wife who was the problem, he ran off with you and forgot all about the test. At least, that's the best explanation that I can come up with. What do you think, Anya? Got any better ideas?
This can't be happening.
I tried to tell you.
Tell me what?
I told you his family had some very outdated ideas about women. I wasn't referring to any religious belief, just the idea that fertility problems are all on women. They think men can't be infertile. They were thrilled that they finally had their grandson, but now they find out that the child they'd been fawning over for the last several months is probably not their grandson. Not only that, but now that they found out Henry can't have kids, they know that they will never have the grandson they dreamed of. That's got to be hitting them pretty hard right now. And keep in mind that this is all right after they forked out $100,000 for your wedding.
Oh.
Henry's dad invited a lot of big shots to your wedding, didn't he? Company executives, clients, business partners, and so on. It had to be a veritable who's who of the state's business scene. And since you lied and told them all that Henry was the father of your child, how do you think that's going to affect his dad's image when word about that inevitably gets out? There are going to be a lot of uncomfortable conversations at the negotiating table from now on.
Oh no, I'm in a lot of trouble, aren't I?
Yep, and you're going to have to take care of it on your own.
Oh my God.
I'll leave you to sort out the ruins of your life then.
Wait! You've got to help me do something, Lucy! I'm in deeper than I've ever been in my entire life! I have no idea what I should do about this!
A short while later, both Anya and her child were unceremoniously booted out of Henry's parents' house. I heard from a friend that the results of the paternity test came back, and the result was exactly what everyone expected it to be. With nowhere else to go, Anya moved back in with her own parents. Her troubles didn't stop there, though. She was sued for paternity fraud by Henry's family for the amount of money they had spent on supporting her and her child up until the truth came out. And they also wanted her to pay them back for a portion of the $100,000 wedding they paid for. Anya's parents nearly fainted when they saw the grand total of the money she was on the hook for, so they promptly booted her out of their house, too. Understandably, they didn't want to be seen as aiding and abetting her fraud. She found a job at a factory with free employee housing, and her wages are being garnished to cover her legal bills. But wait, there's more. Henry's family company had been teetering on the brink of bankruptcy for some time. They threw the lavish wedding as a way of assuring his dad's business associates that the company is actually doing super-duper great. As you all know, however, that didn't turn out very well, and word spread around town pretty fast. I think their estate will be shrinking exponentially in the near future. On the bright side, though, now they don't need to worry about finding someone to take over the family business anymore. Hey, Carl, are you there? I was just wondering if you and I could talk for a little bit. I don't mind if we're just exchanging text messages, so is now a good time to talk?
Oh, hey Mom. Yeah, I guess that you and I can't talk right now. But I can only text at the moment. Sorry about that. But anyways, I don't have any work tomorrow, so I don't mind if we talk. What is it that you wanted to talk about?
I just wanted to double check with you that Susan wasn't going to go back to her parents' house to have her baby, right?
I don't think that she was going to do anything like that. But do you mind if I ask what makes you think she was going to?
Well, it's just I'm actually staying at a hotel kind of near where Susan's parents live. I'm here for work, but I've been staying here since yesterday. I'm basically just up the street from their house if I've got the one that I'm thinking of. You said that Susan's family owns a lot of cats, right?
Yeah, that's right. I think just about everyone in town knows their house is the one with all the cats out in front of it. And whenever I've gone to go and visit them, I'm always having to watch my step to make sure that I'm not stepping on any tails or anything at all.
I see. Well, the reason I wanted to know all of this was because I'm quite sure that I saw Susan actually stealing a bit of the cat food for herself.
Sorry, what do you mean she was stealing the cat food for herself? I'm not sure I understand.
Well, then how do you think I feel? I was so shocked that I could hardly move. I was going to call out to her, but then I thought better of it. But that was the first time that I'd ever seen a person eat cat food so casually. And anyways, that's why I wanted to know if you had any idea what she might have been doing. Did you know that this was something she does?
Mom, this is all a really wild story and all that, but I already told you that Susan hasn't even gone home. For the past 2 weeks, she's been in the hospital, actually.
Wait, you're telling me that Susan is in the hospital? And she's been there for that long? But what happened?
Well, we were gonna tell you if things got any worse or serious, but Susan's just been really nervous about any complications when it comes to the baby. And she had been feeling extra queasy and uneasy lately, so she decided to check herself into the hospital.
Oh, I see. Well, I don't think that I knew any of that.
Well, it really is okay since now she's basically feeling better. I think she is probably going to be able to leave any day now. But anyways, the hospital with the maternity ward that Susan wants to give birth at is just a 10-minute drive away from our house. So I don't really think that Susan even has a reason. Why should you go all the way to her parents to have the baby?
I see. Well, then if the person I saw eating cat food wasn't actually Susan, I suppose we can say that that is a good thing. But given what else is going on, I just hope that she feels okay and the pregnancy goes along smoothly.
I think everything should be okay. Actually, it's kind of funny considering that Susan's little sister Kathy is also pregnant.
Wait a second, did I meet Kathy at yours and Susan's wedding? You know, I thought that the two of them looked so similar, I was sure that they must have been twins.
Yeah, they do look quite similar. I imagine that you probably are thinking of the right person that you met on my wedding day.
Yeah, but what about Kathy? Are you saying she's gone back home to have her baby?
Yeah, she has gone back to her parents. Although that actually wasn't the original plan for how she wanted to do this.
Oh, really? And what do you mean by that?
Well, Kathy was going to do what Susan is doing and give birth at a hospital. But then, not that long ago, her husband had to leave on some kind of last-minute business trip or something like that. I guess he was going to go abroad for a long time and they didn't know when he was going to be able to come back. So that's when Kathy asked her parents if she could move back in with them. Kathy and her husband even canceled the lease on their apartment. Thing is, though, that Kathy didn't even realize she was pregnant. She had no idea about that until her husband only had about a week up until he had to leave for his assignment.
Oh, wow, that's so much. The poor thing. And finding out that his wife was pregnant so close to his trip still wasn't enough to get her husband out of having to do it? But to go and do something like cancel your own lease, that basically leaves you with no other place to live at all.
I know. But apparently both of her husband's parents have passed away. So really, she only had one place that she could go to live. Of course, Susan did think about reaching out to Kathy and asking if she wanted to come and stay with us for a while. But then all the things with Susan's pregnancy started acting up, and so we agreed to scrap that plan.
And so that's why Kathy ended up having to go all the way back to her parents to have her baby then?
Yeah, pretty much. I know it's a long story, but that's basically what happened. Yeah.
But then I still feel like I'm not getting the whole picture. Is there something wrong with having to go back to your parents' place to give birth?
Well, the thing is that Susan and Kathy's dad is still around, but their mom isn't. Not only that, but their dad actually ended up marrying a woman in her mid-30s.
Oh, yeah. I think I've heard of something like that when it came to their family. I must have completely forgotten about it until now, though.
Right, well, as I'm sure you might be able to imagine, Kathy and Susan do not get along great with their stepmother. Apparently they tried to meet her a couple of times, and even all lived together before we were married, but it just wasn't working out. Anyways, I wouldn't be surprised if what you say with the cat food might have had something to do with that.
You really think so? Wow, I had no idea that all of this was going on.
Well, if you want, I guess I can try talking to Susan and see if she can't get a hold of Kathy to make sure that everything's okay.
Oh, no, you don't have to go and do something like that for me.
Are you sure? Because it really wouldn't be a big deal at all.
Oh, sorry. Well, that's not what I meant. I just meant that I actually have Kathy's number is all.
Oh, really? You do? I didn't know that you and Kathy had exchanged phone numbers.
I think we must have exchanged our numbers at your wedding, but I don't think we've sent a single message to each other or anything like that.
Great, well, yeah, then I guess if you're worried about Kathy, it might be better for you to reach out to her given that you're both so physically close. But please, let me know if you find anything out. I want to make sure that everything is going okay over there.
Yes, of course. That won't be a problem.
Actually, maybe I'll distract Hillary, their stepmom, so that Kathy doesn't get into any more trouble if something else is going on. Hey there, Hillary. Are you there? This is Susan's husband, Carl. How have you been?
Oh, Carl! It's been ages since I last talked to you. How are you? I have to say, it's quite odd getting a message from you like this.
I know, I'm sorry to be messaging you out of the blue like this, but I just wanted to ask you something. I heard that Susan's sister Kathy ended up going back to your house to give birth. Is that true? The only reason I'm asking is that, well, as Susan's husband, I just think I should be checking on people more from time to time, you know?
Oh, well, aren't you just such a sweet man? I guess that you must be the person who Kathy's texting right now, too, then.
Well, it's just that Susan really isn't feeling well at all, and she asked me to check on you both.
Oh, did she know? Well, isn't that just so thoughtful of her?
Yeah, I thought so. Anyways, how's Kathy doing? Of course, I'm also texting her right now anyways, but I just wanted to know how you think she's doing.
Well, she seems to be always complaining about feeling queasy and stuff like that. I tell her that she needs to be trying to move her body more. I'll give her little errands to do so that she is getting up and moving a bit more throughout the day, but I really don't think that she's doing all that bad.
Oh, I see. Well, that's good to hear. I'm glad that you think Kathy is basically doing fine then.
Carl, are you there? It was much worse than I thought. Kathy is in some serious trouble. We have to get her out of that house and into a hospital right away. Apparently Hillary is still in her room right now, so I need you to help stall just a little longer.
Got it. Hey Hillary, I actually kind of wanted to ask you about something else, if that's okay.
Oh, did you know? Well, what's on your mind? You can ask me whatever you want, you know.
I actually just wanted to let you know that Susan wasn't feeling great with a bunch of pregnancy stuff going on either. She ended up checking herself into a hospital.
Oh, really? Things were that bad? Just what was it that made her want to go and do something like that?
I guess that the pregnancy symptoms were getting to be a bit much for her. She was dizzy and queasy and could barely function. I was actually surprised that things had gotten as bad as they did for her.
I see. And just what did you do to manage that, huh?
Sorry, I'm not sure what you mean. I didn't do anything but take her to the hospital, you know?
That isn't what I'm talking about. Right now, you were trying to tell me that you made your wife's symptoms so bad that she had to go into the hospital, right?
What? No! Of course not. I would never try and do something like that on purpose. She just started feeling ill and it got worse, and so she went to the hospital.
Oh, is that it? Are you sure? Well, okay then.
Yeah, although I'm wondering, in light of all that, if this makes you change your mind on Kathy at all.
Change my mind about what? What could you possibly be referring to?
Well, okay. The truth is that I've heard from a good source that Kathy might not actually be really happy having to be there at home with you.
And just what is that supposed to mean, huh? What are you getting at, Carl?
I just mean that if Kathy is complaining a lot about what she is feeling right now, then maybe you should try listening to her, right? Don't you think it might be good for you to take her to a hospital too?
Oh, please, don't be so overdramatic. I know that Kathy doesn't want or need that, but you can just reach out and ask her yourself if you don't believe me.
I see. Well, if that's the way that you're going to be about this, then I guess you leave us with no choice. We're going to be taking care of Kathy from now on.
What is that supposed to mean? Carl, what is going on here, huh? Where is Kathy? Why isn't she at home? I know that she can't have gotten very far by herself in her state, so I want to know what kind of trick you're trying to pull.
I'm afraid that's a secret. I can't tell you anything.
Excuse me? Do you think this is some kind of game or something like that?
Actually, let me ask you something. Your husband left for a business trip himself about 2 months ago, isn't that right? And while he was gone, that's when you turned against Kathy. You withheld food from her, verbally abused her, and made her do all kinds of chores for you. You were basically making her your servant while she was pregnant.
Well, I really don't have any idea at all what you're talking about, and I don't think that you do either.
Oh, really? Because I have proof of everything that I'm saying.
Hold on a second, you have proof? Just what do you mean by that?
I take it that you didn't know this since they were installed before you married Susan's father. But he had cameras installed to keep an eye on his cats, and we can see exactly the kind of things you were forcing Kathy to do on them.
What do you mean by that? This has got to be some kind of mistake.
It's not a mistake at all. And since we have this proof, you can bet that we're going to be sending it to your husband as well.
Wait, no, hold on. You can't do that. I mean, don't you know what's going to happen to me if you do?
That is entirely up to your husband. But I'm sure he'll think of something good for you.
Carl, are you there? You better pick up the phone right now. Did you really go and tell my husband about what you told me about? Because he told me he's already calling a lawyer to divorce me right now.
Oh, so I take it by that he's already back home then?
What do you mean about that, huh?
You mean you didn't hear? He ended his business trip early just to come and deal with all that has been going on in his absence. He even stopped by the hospital to see Kathy and make sure that she was doing okay. Last thing he said before leaving that he was going back home, though.
But then, That means he'd be coming home to divorce me, but I don't even have a job. He can't do this to me.
Actually, that reminds me. There is one more thing I want to ask you about.
What is it this time?
Well, it's just about Kathy. You see, she tells us that her husband left you a substantial amount of money that was meant to be spent on Kathy while she was there. It was to pay for things like food, utilities, even some hospital fees. But he gave that money directly to you, didn't he?
What do you mean? I have no idea what you're talking about.
Oh, please. Kathy already told us about how you went on a huge shopping spree for yourself as soon as your husband was gone.
But, it was just a few things that I bought.
So then you admit that you used the money on yourself.
I don't want to answer any more of your questions.
It's fine. I'll tell your husband all about this as well, and he can deal with it.
No, please, you can't do this to me. Please. Don't you think we have so much more to gain by working together rather than in opposition?
And just what do you mean by that?
I mean that if you help me out here, I can help you out in whatever way you need me to.
Yeah, that's gonna be a huge pass from me.
What is that supposed to mean?
It means I literally almost lost my lunch just reading that message. But I'll be sure to tell your husband all about what you just said to me as well. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm gonna go and throw up. You know, in all the time that Susan and I have together, I still have never ever understood what it is that her dad saw in Hillary. It isn't like he's a cruel or stupid man or anything like that. In fact, when he got back from his business trip, he came to apologize to my mom and I for all the trouble Hillary had caused us. We told her that we were just happy to be able to be there for Kathy. It did take long after that for Hillary and him to officially get divorced. Of course, things didn't end for Hillary there. She was also made to pay a huge alimony settlement. But Hillary had barely worked a day in her life, and when she was divorced, she barely had a penny to her name. In order to keep up with her expenses, she had to take out huge loans and fell into debt. Now, she lives in a tiny apartment working multiple jobs to try and fix her finances. Thank you for watching. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to see more content like this.
Sarah, are you there? You and I have got some serious talking to do. Do you know that? You're just horrible. How could you? Don't you have any shame at all? What is the matter with you? How could you do this to me? You are the worst. Oh, Harriet, what is all this about? Where is all this coming from all of a sudden? Did I do something to you? I'm sorry, but I really can't think of anything that I've done that would have had an effect on you. Are you just playing stupid, or have you really just not thought at all about the consequences of your own actions? Either way, it's proof of the dangerous and evil person that you really are deep down inside. I know that daughter-in-laws and mother-in-laws don't always get along together, but you've really just taken this whole thing way too far. To think that you would do something to hurt your own grandchild? My grandchild? What do you mean by that? Did something happen to little Rita? Is she okay? I'm not sure what this is about, but I want you to know that I have nothing but love for my granddaughter. And I would certainly never, ever do anything to hurt her, not in a million years. Aren't I the one that's always there when you need a sitter for her? That's right, we would go to you when we needed someone to watch over Rita, but that was before we knew the dark truth about who you really are. And if you think that you're going to be able to use watching my daughter as a way to bully me even more, then you've got another thing coming. Bullying? Are you telling me that I'm bullying you? But I don't even know what I've done, honest. It's too late to try and come up with excuses to save yourself now. I have all the proof I need in Rita. She's the key to all of this. Harriet, please, can you just calm down and tell me what it is that you're even talking about? Because I am just confused right now. Can you please just talk to me straight and tell me what has exactly got you so upset at me? So am I. I'm just so confused about how you could do that to a 4-year-old girl. You really are a monster, you know that? And I hope you know that I will be telling Michael all about this. I was going to call him tonight, so you have until then to think of what you're going to say to him. Though I doubt that even your son would forgive you for what you've done. What in the world is going on here? I mean, how am I supposed to apologize for something bad that I've done when you won't even tell me what it is that I'm supposed to be sorry for in the first place?
Mom, I just don't know what to say to you. Except that I'm so disappointed in you. How could you do this? Of course, I assume you realize this means you can never ever watch over Rita again. In fact, we're off half a mind to never even let you come over again.
No, Michael, not you too. Could someone please just tell me what it is that I'm supposed to have done and to deserve being treated like this?
I can't believe that you even have the gall to ask a question like that. What's the matter with you?
But I literally don't even know what it is that I'm supposed to have done. I have racked my brain all day trying to think of what might have happened, and I keep coming up with nothing. Harriet and now even you are both accusing me of doing something awful to Rita, but neither of you are telling me what it is that I'm supposed to have done. I would love to apologize for whatever it was and just move past this, but I don't even know what I'm supposed to be sorry for.
Harriet was more right than I thought. You really do just refuse to even acknowledge the fact that you've been a horrible bully to her.
It is not that I won't acknowledge it, I just want to know what I did to make her feel that way.
You really are just too much, Mom. Do you know that? On top of all the pain and suffering you've caused, you're really going to refuse to admit it until you force someone to recount it all to you? Do you just like hearing about what you've done to others? Do you get some kind of sick pleasure from making your victims tell you all the suffering that they faced at your hands?
Michael, I understand very much that whatever this is about, it's got you and Harriet very upset. But you're still not telling me what it is that I've done.
Well, I don't see how that's my problem. But you have until the end of the week to apologize for what you've done.
You're really going to give me a time limit for all this? This is just getting to be a little bit ridiculous, Michael. I expect this kind of thing from Harriet, but from you? I thought you were smarter than this.
That's right. I'm going to be out of the house on a business trip until the end of the week, so I won't be able to hear your apology in full until then. But I just want you to know that if anything happens to Harriet or Rita while I'm away, there's going to be hell to pay. And that goes double if you aren't ready to apologize for all that you've done before I get back.
I just wish someone would tell me what in the world they think it is that I've done. The both of you are just getting too worked up before you even have a chance to tell me what this is all about. Hello, Harriet, do you have a moment to talk? I promise that this won't take long. I just need your attention for a short moment. I was just curious if you had any idea where I am right now? Any idea at all where I might be? Well, if it isn't my mother-in-law, or should I call you my monster-in-law, have you finally come to apologize for all the awful things you've put me through? Before we get into any of that, I just have one thing that I want to ask you. You mean about where you are? Frankly, I don't care at all where you are, so no, I don't know the answer to your question. I see. Well, if that's true, you're going to be fine. But anyways, I also just wanted to let you know that I found Rita crying outside your house. She said that she had been thrown out and wasn't being let back inside, so I took her home with me. Excuse me, you did what? Didn't Michael tell you to stay away from our daughter? What is the matter with you? Do you really expect me to just leave my granddaughter sitting all alone outside on this freezing day? She was practically begging me to take her home when I saw her, Harriet. Well, I'm home now. Bring her back this instant. This is kidnapping. Don't you realize that? Do you want me to call the cops on you? I think that that's the last thing that Rita needs right now, because it's late and she's already asleep. She's going to stay with me. Sarah, you can't do this. I won't let you get away with it. I'll talk to Michael and he'll deal with you. Is that what you want? Don't you realize that you're just pushing us all away from you when you act like this? Well, I'll be more than happy to bring Rita back if you just tell Michael the truth.
Mom, are you there? What the heck is going on? I know you had something to do with this. Harriet is gone. She told me that she was going back to live with her parents. She told me she was going to divorce me if you don't bring back Rita. Bring back my daughter right this instant.
I'm more than happy to return her to you, but I'm just curious if Harriet told you everything you needed to know.
She told me that you kidnapped our daughter. She's horribly upset right now, Mom.
That still isn't what I'm talking about, Michael. You need to be more critical of what Harriet is telling you. Can't you see that you're just being lied to and used?
And what in the world are you talking about? I don't want to play any games. Just tell me right now.
Michael, tell me, do you think it's important to be able to trust your wife?
Of course I do. Why wouldn't I trust Harriet?
What if I told you that she was lying to you? What if I told you that she was telling you things she knew would block your ability to think calmly?
That isn't fair. I'm very calm. There's no way I let her trick me.
You say that, but I want to know why you think it's so important to cover for a woman like that.
I'm not covering for anyone, Mom. I'm standing up for my wife. How could you even say something like that?
Oh, son, I'm sorry you can't see that you're being taken advantage of right now. You really are such a sweet boy. But the truth is that Harriet has been dragging you further and further into her web of lies.
Mom, what in the world are you talking about?
You know, you might be able to see what I'm talking about if you check your doorbell camera.
My doorbell camera? What does that have to do with anything? I don't understand.
Well, I remember you telling me that your doorbell camera was motion activated, right?
Yeah, that's right. If anything moves in front of the sensor, the camera turns on and I can see what's going on from the inside the house. It even saves recordings.
That's right. And that's so that you can see the kind of people coming to your house while you're away, right? So basically anyone who would be coming in or out of the house would be captured on the camera then, right?
Yeah, I guess so. But I'm still not seeing the point you're trying to make.
Well, I guess this means that you could watch the recordings and see when I stopped by and took Rita with me. Maybe you should see the footage for yourself before you get upset with me for what I did. That is, if Harriet hasn't deleted the footage of all that happening already.
Mom, are you there? I just wanted to tell you how grateful I am for warning me about Harriet yesterday.
So I take it that you looked at the doorbell footage from your camera then?
That's right, I did, and it was just as you said. I saw when you pulled up while Rita was sitting outside, and you were right. She did run to you, and it looked like she wanted to get in your car.
And is that all you saw when you were watching?
No. I watched the whole thing from the very beginning so that I could try and understand what Rita was doing out there in the first place. And I saw Harriet letting in some strange man I've never seen before into the house. And then a few minutes later, she goes back outside with Rita to leave her there.
I knew that's what was going on.
And it was while watching some earlier footage of another time that this happened, that I saw what happened that gave Harriet away to try and blame me for hurting Rita.
I was wondering about that, so what did you see?
While she was dragging Rita outside, Rita was trying to fight her, and Harriet ended up leaving bruises on her arm.
That's just horrible. How could a mother live with doing that to her own child?
Yeah, I guess Rita was sick of having to be kicked out of the house whenever Harriet was bringing this man over. But that just means that it must have happened at least a few times.
Oh, son, I'm so sorry that you're going through all of this, but I'm glad that you know the truth now.
I know, but I still can't believe that I thought it was you when Harriet showed me the bruises on Rita's arm. If you hadn't known about the doorbell camera, I might never have believed you.
Well, I'm just glad that the footage was still there, and Harriet has gone back to her parents, like you said?
Yeah, she said she was going to be staying there until this gets settled. But I think I might have to ask you to hold on to Rita just a little longer.
Of course, there's no problem at all. You know how much she enjoys being at my house. I'll tell her she's going to be with me for a few days.
Thanks a lot, Mom.
Of course. Now, go and do what you need to do.
Michael, are you there? You're not really going to divorce me, are you? Whatever your mom told you, it's a lie. You have to know that. We should both know by now that we can't trust her.
You're wrong about that, Harriet. We could always trust my mom, but it's you that I shouldn't have been trusting. Besides, it's not what my mom said that made up my mind. It's what she showed me.
What do you mean by that? What did she show you? Whatever it was, it's all fake.
She told me to watch the footage from our doorbell camera, and I did. And I saw all the time that you forced Rita to sit outside while you cheated on me.
No, it isn't what it looks like, I swear.
I don't even know why I'm wasting my time talking to you about this. I know the truth, and that's enough for me.
Sarah, are you there? Please, you have to know this is all just one big misunderstanding, right? But it's okay. We can put all this behind us if you just give me Rita. Bring her back to me now. What in the world are you going on about now, Harriet? Do you really think that I would ever in a million years do that? Besides, I know for a fact that Michael, and not you, was awarded with custody of her, so now I have a legal reason why I wouldn't do that. But please, how am I supposed to live without those two in my life? Besides, I can't pay the alimony or child support or anything like that. At least if I had Rita with me, then that would mean that Michael would have to pay child support and I could get some money that way. There you go again, using your own daughter as a way to selfishly go after your own goals. You really just don't know when to stop at all, do you? I mean, do you think that just by having Rita in your possession that the court would order Michael to pay you child support? You don't even have legal custody over her. But please, there has to be a way. I'm desperate. I need Rita back in my life. She's my key out of this mess. Can you please just give it a rest already? It's over. There's no point in trying to fight what's happened. The judge has made her decision and that's that. But my husband and my daughter, what am I supposed to do without them? What husband? You and Michael are divorced. As for Rita, when she's older, she can make the decision of reconnecting with you. But until then, we are going to make sure that you stay as far away from her as possible. Well, I'm just glad that we were able to get to the bottom of what happened by the end. Harriet and Michael did end up getting divorced, of course. Harriet was forced to pay for her affair and was also instructed to pay child support. Harriet had to go into serious debt to pay all of her legal fees. Luckily, she had a brother who owned a factory. He stepped in during the divorce proceedings and offered a workout for the payments. In exchange for him taking over the payments, Harriet would work in his factory under strict supervision until it was all paid back. Without any other direction to turn, Harriet had no choice but to accept, and that was the last we ever heard of her. Now Michael is a single father with full custody of Rita. He's always busy, but I know that he's doing his best. And when things get to be too much, he knows he can always leave little Rita with me. In fact, while it might have helped to keep Rita away from her mother while everything has happened, I ended up selling my house in the country. Instead, I moved into the city to be closer to Michael and Rita and give my son and granddaughter any support they might need. I guess this means that we've all had to make rather large adjustments in our lives because of what happened. But as long as my family is together, and we have not only trust, but genuine, open, and honest communication with each other, I am sure that there are no problems that we won't be able to overcome together. Thank you for watching. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to see more content like this.